What is up, everyone? Circon here, bringing you guys another video. Today we're reviewing the challenge and the tank itself for another premium that has come out, or is going to come out, I think tomorrow. I'm recording this on the 28th. I think it's being released, November 29. And it's about the Renegade tank. It's basically American heavy. And the video is kind of cool. It's like 12 minutes long. It's kind of like a Western. I don't know why. Looks cool. Has some cool music. Check it out if you want to. But yeah, the Renegade, boys. Now first, let's take a look at how do we get it. So that's always the one thing that people want to know. So most of you by now will know that every year, this past year, there's been like 4 or 5 of these challenges, ranging from really easy ones for the tier 5 M10, right? That was a really easy one that everybody could do. Everybody was happy, got a tier 5 tank. It's fine, it doesn't really mean much. It's cool, it's free, it's nice. And the last one, I think, was the TS5, the TD. And the thing with these challenges is that they're always like 10 days to do 10 challenges. And I'm pretty sure you can do several challenges in one day, I think. And the way they do it is that you have a mission for commitment, which is tier 6 to tier 10, or a mission for mastery, which is only tier 9 and 10. And so the aim here is, I guess, that the more experienced players with higher tier vehicles can do a different mission to be a little bit faster to getting the tier to all the way to stage 10. Now, every stage is going to give you 10% discount on the bundle that you can already buy starting this Friday, right? So what I used to do, right, is grind all the way to stage 5 usually, because at stage 6 plus it gets insane. Get a nice half off discount and then buy it for half off. That's what I do, especially this year when, as you guys know, I didn't have a lot of time to play World of Tanks. That's what I did, right? I have the disposable income to do it. It's going to be like 25 euros and you get the whole package, the camo, all the credits. You get all the rewards that are in these stages, and then that's what I did, right? But let's take a look at what the commitment ones are, and they're all basic speed. Much like the SU, for example. Now, I took a look at the SU 1:30 PM missions, and between that one and this one, for this one, you need to earn 4,000 more basic speed in total. So, a little bit of an increase. Now, the conditions for the mastery ones, we can go through them right now. So, finish the battle as a top player in your team by experience earned. That's an easy one, way faster than commitment, right? Cost 20% of your total damage caused by your team. One time. Super doable, right? Earn at least 850 basic speed 5 times, compared to 9,000. It's still gonna probably be faster, right? Conditions for mastery. Finish the battle as a top player 10 times versus 17k basic speed. Doable, but I think this is almost just as fast as just the commitment one at this point. For slightly better players, I guess. Like, the way I see it is that if you're playing tier 6 to tier 7, if you're smart and you're gonna grind commitment, you should probably play scout tanks, in which case 1,000 basic speed per game is not entirely unfeasible. They have like really good XP multipliers for scouts if you do a little bit of damage, right? So you need 17k for stage 4, sorry. And so that's the top earner. And the 5th one is be the top player of your team by damage caused 15 times. Or 30,000 basic speed. So yeah, so obviously the mastery ones are more aimed towards the more veteran players, I suppose. And the commitment ones is literally for everyone. And I do like that. I think way back when the commitment missions were also kind of annoying, because they also had like kind of these kinds of missions, I believe. And I like that it's just basic speed. You can just play whatever you want that's tier 6 or higher, and you just get it going. Now, of course, a lot of people will say, well, this is way too much for getting the tank. And yeah, it is quite a grind. You're gonna be... This is almost like a part-time job for 10 days. Okay? But like I said, I think the healthier way of doing this would literally just be play whatever you want, see what kind of discount you get, right? If you get the stage 3, you get the stage 3. Let it be, right? And if the price at 30% off is right for you, then just get it. Alright, these tanks don't disappear after these missions, okay? They always become available later. And so yeah. And I know that a lot of people will complain that if the missions are too hard, yada yada. The way I see it, alright, and this might be a bit too rose tinted or something, I don't know, is like we're getting free shit. Okay? Like, if you're just playing the game normally, you're still gonna get some of these rewards completely for free. No problem. But like, at its worst, you're just gonna get a bunch of free stuff for playing the game that you always are. I would never recommend you guys playing 10 days straight, playing your ass off to get the tank. Okay, that's never worth it. That's really never worth it. Like, there will be a whole bunch of unicums and whatnot that are just gonna get to stage 10 in like 3 days, doing the mastery missions. That's fine, right? They get a free tier 8. It is whatever. But I just see this as free content where you can earn some free stuff, or maybe a free tank or a discount on the tank, right? Some of you might not even want an American heavy, right? I would definitely not get lured or suckered into like, oh, I gotta get this tank, or oh, I gotta grind really hard. Like, no, don't do that. My advice to you guys is just play as much as you always have. See by the end of this what your discount was, and see if that price is worth it to you to buy a Renegade. I'm going to show you guys the replay of the tank. I'm going to go through the stats with you guys so you can maybe get a better impression of what it's like and to see what this tank is all about. All right? And usually, but I'm not sure if this is in here, even after the event, you still have a bunch of days to get the tank with the discount. You don't have to have it right after these 10 days, right? So yeah, that is how you get it. Basically, the commitments or the mastery missions, and then you have to do 10 of them to get everything for free. Otherwise, every stage that you do is 10% discount. All right, so let's take a look what the tank is all about before we jump into a replay, shall we? So what do we got for base stats? So we have no equipment, we have no consumables yet. What do we got? We got 2200 DPM, 360 damage alpha per shot, obviously. 2.4 aiming time, which is pretty damn good for a heavy. I'm always looking for 2.3 or less on mediums, but 2.4 in the heavy is really nice. A base dispersion of 36 dispersion is pretty nice as well. The shell velocity is nice at 1080. Anything above 1000 is really the go-to. And I also saw that the HE still retains the same shell velocity as AP, which makes it rather nice to change in a game where you don't, where you know you're gonna pen the HE. You don't have to adjust your aim because it's the same as the AP. The APCR gets a lot faster at almost 1400 and gets 255 pen, where the AP has 226 pen and the AT has 53. I actually kind of like these pen values. 226 is just enough, like to make it just good, and not too low where you want to load the gold all the time. The gold ammo is 255 APCR, and I also kind of like that. It's not ridiculously high. And APCR loses, the pen over distance is not the heat. So I think this is actually a pretty healthy ammo choice. It's actually not OP, it's just good. And that's what I like. So top speed of 45, which I also really like because anything below 40 starts just feeling really, really slow. So around 45 top speed, I can dig that, right? Power weight of 16, decent traverses of 36.5, and an effective reverse, is decent on all around. It's an American heavy tank, so of course it has 10 degrees of gun depression. It has 20 elevation, which might come in handy at some point. So it's extremely comfortable to use the tank because it's pretty much as good as it gets. There's only some extreme Swedish tanks that have like 13 or something, but 10 degrees of gun depression, it's really easy to use. So whole armor and third armor. Now we can take a look at these numbers, but we're way better off at actually just checking the 3D model. So the upper plate is pretty nice, straight on. Without an angle, it's like 205. When you start angling, 230 on the outer edges, 260. The turret, or all around the gun, is pretty nice. Above it is an auto, like ricochet here, on the front. But the cupola is really weak. It's about 175, 180, 150, around that range. So anything around 200 pen will straight go through your cupola. No worries, no bounces ever. The entire cupola is a weak spot, basically. And the lower plate is really weak. And as you can see better in the visual here, The cupola, or the cupola, the lower plate is also pretty damn big. So what does this mean? It is the classic American heavy, which I think is actually fairly balanced one, because as long as you hide your hull, then only your tumor is really a weak spot. But if you're moving backwards and forwards and whatnot, it takes a little bit of skill to use. And yeah, I like it. It actually has 2 weak spots that people could deal with, even at tier 7, and some even at tier 6 can deal with this. And the side armor is also only like 78-ish, which is not great. And the turret sides all the way in the back is 162. And then it goes more towards 200 on the sides here. But yeah, this is also obviously a weak spot. And it's a fairly big tank, right? So the back of the turret you have to think about at all times as well. So it is not a straightforward rush in, kill everything, defender type gameplay. You actually kind of have to think. Yeah, you need to hide your lower plate at the very least. And the moment you're not, you're going to be blown up pretty quickly. Now, it does pack a punch, of course. But I think all around it's actually a pretty well balanced tank, and I feel like most American tanks are. They almost always have this design with the bathtub where the lower plate is weak. There's sometimes something weak on the turret as well, and this is where I guess the old T-34 would be better because it doesn't really have a turret weak spot such as this. Obviously, it has other downsides, but yeah. And it has 400 base view range, which is really nice. And it has a box standard 1500 health at tier 8, which is super normal at tier 8. There's nothing special about it. So how will we deck this out? Because we have 400 view range, you actually have a choice. A tiny one, but you have a choice. You're always going to go with a gun rammer. Obviously, this goes without saying. You're going to go with the first stab. Obviously, goes without saying. So the only difference here is, if you have a good crew, and mind you, if you buy the tank or you complete the rewards, you're going to get a 0 crew skill Brothers in Arms. So you're going to get Brothers in Arms for sure. But most of you, by now, will have a really good American crew with at least Recon, Brothers in Arms, and Situational Awareness. Okay, so Brothers in Arms, Recon, Situational Awareness. That will bring you up to 429. This means that if you are going to run food on it, which is a 20k or 10k per game cost, 10k if you buy it at a discount in bulk during an event or whatever like that, then you are at 447 without your third equipment slot. This means you can run ventilation and get 456, and ventilation helps with all your with a lot of other stats as well, such as all your weapon stats and whatnot. If you don't want to do this, right, if you don't want to run the case Gola because you want to make maximum credits, right, and you go with vents, you're at 438. I would never recommend this. Always go to 445 minimum. So you're gonna have to run optics, and there's no choice. This is by far the best setup if you want to make credits, right? If you want to play it slightly, ever so slightly more competitive, run it with vents and run it with cola, because then you get 456. You get your best weaponry, like you get the best version of your gun. And the rest is just, you know, I would always recommend a larger repair kit, and I usually run with a small first aid kit. I think in the V-Play I use a big first aid kit, but this is my usual setup for most things. And if you're smart, you buy these two, or even this one at half off during some of the weekend specials. Christmas will probably put them at half off as well. And in which case you have 456. Now, you can also, if you really hate, for example, the, as I like to call them, the Playmobil cars, the wheelie boys, or if you're getting really annoyed at scout tanks, slap on the optics whilst having food, and you'll have 491, almost 492 view range. Anything above 445 will start negating enemies' camos. This means that you're way more effective at spotting the scouts that are within view range, but you're gonna negate their camo values a bit. So if you really hate scout tanks, slap those optics and Nicolo on. And another thing, a lot of you will have that like weird consumable that's not here, like the directives. And if you run the directive for firefighting, then even fires will, you know, they won't go off like straight away. But it effectively gives your whole crew the firefighting perk, so the fires won't be as bad. So then you also negate the fact that you're using food and no fire extinguisher if you want to go full try hard. But yeah, that is the tank. I think it's quite good. I think it's actually quite well balanced. And like I said, most American heavies are. So yeah, that is the tank. Alright, so let's take a look at what the tank can do, right? Like I mentioned before, I played it for 5 games, and this was the best one. It was also the first one. So the matchmaking is actually quite good. you tend to get like same tier matchmaking or your top tier matchmaking in the first game. So yeah, we got full tier 8, Serene Coast, only one artillery, couple of scouts, couple of TDs, couple of mediums, couple of heavies. It's actually pretty much perfect matchmaking. And as we are on Serene Coast, I was already pinging before the game, as you can see. I was pinging like, let's go C1, boys. Okay, we got an Emil, we got a Renegade, we can go hold down and we can destroy, right? So that was kind of the plan. And the IS-3s would be way less effective there, which are in a platoon, than they would be on the other side of the map. So yeah, the Renegade. So yeah, as you can see, the top speed, you can reach about 45 kilometers an hour, is, you know, good enough for a heavy, to be honest, with kind of the armor layout that we have. Nice juicy shot there on the Bulldog, getting the tracking as well, rather nice. See if we can get a shot on the Patton, but we don't, so we're just gonna keep trucking, and the Emil has the right idea here, I think. So we're not the fastest, but like, I think it's about that just about enough speed to make it enjoyable, you know? It's not like super slow, it's not super fast, it's just about good. And this Emil's about to lay waste to this LTB. I'm gonna check for the Scorpion cheeky shot. It's just like, is PKP really base camping? And yes, he's really base camping. Alright, fuck him. Don't even know why I fired that one, to be honest. Like, that's like a 1 in a million to pen that from that range against that tank. And yeah, so the pen, like I said earlier as well, 226, 255. Hit the mod 1. Angle a little bit. Now we're gonna go in. Bounce one shot. Kill him. Keep moving, because we don't want to get shot by all the TDs. Angle as much as we can against the M4. We get shot by the Lynx as well. Their Scorpion actually kills our Emil, so I'm kinda suddenly pretty lonely here. But yeah. Put another shot to the... I almost said put another shot into the Renegade. Put another shot in the 59 Patton there, 1300 damage by now. Murphy only maybe. Get RT'd again. Kills our driver. And now we have to wait like a full minute without a driver, which is very, very annoying. Trying to give this M4 like the worst shot possible, basically. Because, you know, it's a pretty decently fair fight here. We both have like some glaring, as you can see, Cupola's on top, so... We're gonna bounce one more. Nope, that just went straight to the lower plate. But we do already hit him in return. We have, with this setup, with like really good crew and food, we have about a, like an, what is it, like an 8-second reload or something like that, so quite good for the alpha that it comes with. Kill that guy, peek a little bit, see if the, if anybody else wants to fight, like the CDA or something like that. So I'm gonna go, I think I'll make the decision here to go for the CDA, see if we can get him. Our driver is still dead, because we got RT'd, used our medkit, and then we got RT'd and lost our driver. It's really annoying. But yeah, these are the kinds of fights you want to be doing, right? You always want to be held down. Always. Always and forever. And then it brawls quite well. Like, I really like this gun. The reload, quite nice, right? Having that reload with 360 alpha. I'm way bigger fan of these, like, slightly lower alpha tanks than the higher alpha, higher reload ones. And yeah, you can trade less favorably, but I just do better with these. And here we're gonna miss some really easy shots. Feels good, man. This is really, these, like this one less likely, but that first shot should have just been a hit, boys. I'm not gonna lie about it. Can we get another shot? The Scorpion, maybe? Nope. And at this point, I was like, yep, we're staying too long. Artillery might shoot us again. So yeah, it is time to go. We also have the IS-3 Armada at our base, so I'm kind of debating going like back, or at least like halfway to see if they need help. Because we do have like a pretty healthy amount of tanks there that are all on pretty healthy amounts of health themselves, so I think it's gonna be okay, but I'm gonna slightly retreat here. Because I don't want to get caught like 1v5 or whatever. PKP is obviously still there. The Scorpion's probably in the city somewhere. So I'm checking the health pools here. I can't really see the IS-3 in the back. I'm gonna move even further. Maybe I can catch the health pools. So the IS-3 is on 438. That's super low. The 112 is getting dealt with right now. And I'm like, okay, I think they got it. Like, we don't know that one IS3 health, but I think we got it. So I'm already just gonna start heading back, because we're not the fastest tank, but you know, it's decent enough. So check the other health. As you can see, I checked back. Okay, how much health is the IS3 on? Okay, we're good. There's like 4v1 or something. So I'm gonna go, hopefully, deal with the Scorpion and all the other rubble that's still left here. And yeah, I think this is a pretty decent replay to show you guys kind of the strengths and the weaknesses of it. So we're gonna go. Oh, no, Scorpion gets spotted. I'm gonna go for the fast shot because he turns around on like a dime. So we get the free shot here. And this is really cheeky. Yeah, he's gonna get another shot here. Boom, yes we can. He misses his shot. So I have the advantage here in the reload here, but I just can't quite get to him. I probably could have if I drove a little bit better, but on the other hand, this is probably fine too. And now I'm actually gonna go back. I know that the artillery is still there, and I'm probably gonna get arty in this position, but I am also really strong hold down here versus everything else. So as long as the RT doesn't do some ridiculous high rolls, I should be okay. Our medkit is back as well. So we're just gonna go ahead and see if the VKP and all of his friends are still here. Let's see if I can maybe get a lucky spot on the artillery. We don't get quite that. The VKP is looking at the Pantera. So we have some free shots here. I do note though, I load some APSR here because, well, it's a VKP, it's super heavy. The Rheinmetall thinks he can do that. No, you can't. We already reloaded. So I'm gonna carefully aim here with the AP. With the tracking and damaging shot. On the VKP is always a bit awkward. So he just fired, and the game is almost already over. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna go for the Raffioli. Boom, hit him, and then stay close to the VK, maybe get that kill. RT was killed just now as well. And boom, that is the tank, boys. And that is the replay. So, I haven't uploaded this game yet, but this was an ace for 44, 130 damage, of course. We didn't do anything blind. 603 assistance, and we made 80,000 credits. So that's quite good considering we're running full premium consumables and we shot 2 APCR rounds, right? So that is pretty good. And the basic speed was around 14 to 1500, I believe, for this one. So yeah, quite nice. But yeah, so that was the replay, boys. So there you have it, guys. That is my review of the Renegade. Are you gonna grind it? Are you gonna get it all? Are you impressed with the stats? Well, let me know what you think about the tank, guys. I think the tank is perfectly fine and seems pretty good, but not overpoweredly so. And yeah, in a couple of games that I played, I did enjoy playing it. So would love to hear your thoughts, guys. Enjoy the video, enjoy the rest of the channel, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out, boys.